Hey.
Alright, yo, so the Miami Heat got off to a rough start this season, started 1-4, they've since won 3 straight and are back to 500, and a big reason for that comeback this early in the season is because of Bam Adebayo. Now, for some reason, in recent years, Bam is a player who has essentially been swept under the rug by NBA fans because in their eyes, for some reason, he hasn't improved in recent years, even though he continues to grow as a defender and just a player in general. Like, there's a reason why the Miami Heat are always a solid team. Obviously, they have Jimmy Butler at the helm, so he's always going to step up when needed. But at the same time, we all know that Jimmy Butler is not a fan of the regular season. He's someone who has come out and said that he conserves energy and saves it for the playoffs. Plus, we all make fun of the Miami Heat for seemingly dragging random guys off the street and making them a rotational player that could play 30 minutes a night. But at the same time, we have to point out the facts that Bam Adebayo is always the one constant that is keeping this Miami Heat team centered and in striking distance come playoff time. He's never gotten the recognition, but he is a perennial DPOY candidate, and despite the fact that people continue to slam him for never improving as a scorer, if you actually go and look at his stats, he has increased his points per game average every single year, including this one through the first 7 games. He's at a career high 22.7 points per game. He's taking a career high in field goal attempts with 16. He's even getting to the free throw line at a career high with over 8 attempts per game. And this scoring was evident in their most recent game against the Memphis Grizzlies when Bam Adebayo took over the fourth quarter, ended the game with 30 points, and ultimately willed the Miami Heat to this win over the Grizzlies with both his offense and defense. Not to mention, he also just had a near 20-20-10 triple-double against the Lakers just the game before. He is absolutely cooking right now. And especially with the recent news that Tyler Herro is going to be on ice for a couple of weeks, the responsibility is going to fall on Bam's shoulders to continue to step up and be a scorer for this team that now lacks their best scorer. Now, when actually breaking down the tape from this game against the Grizzlies, I will be honest, at first glance, the scoring might seem a little boring, for lack of a better term, because for some reason, the Memphis Grizzlies just did not want to guard Bam Adebayo when he caught the ball at the free throw line, which, that's a jump shot. I know Bam doesn't always, take shots the most aggressively out of the players in the league. But when they're giving him easy pull-up middies, in or around the foul line area, these are just too easy of a look, and Bam was knocking them down all night. Now, what I did enjoy seeing offensively from Bam in this one was he looked more aggressive than I've seen him in the past. Again, I mentioned the free throw attempts at the top of the video. I'm a big free throw guy. It's the easiest shot in the game. It's the easiest way to generate points. And Bam did end up shooting 16 free throws in this game. I'm pretty sure like 12 of them came in the fourth quarter just because the Heat got into the bonus ridiculously early. So while most of them were just dumb fouls by the Grizzlies reaching in when they shouldn't have, I did find a few plays where Bam was using that aggressiveness that I like to see from him and taking smaller defenders to the rim, forcing the defense into a bad spot, and again, just using his athleticism to get himself to the free throw line. And let's talk about Bam's playmaking for a second here, because, I think everyone knows he's a great defender. I think everyone is at least aware of the fact that even though he doesn't like to shoot the ball a ton, he can go off for 30-point nights every now and then, as we just saw against the Grizzlies. But if there is one area of his game that does not get talked about nearly enough, it's his passing and playmaking. And this was on full display in that triple-double that he had against the Lakers that I mentioned, had 10 assists, and he was just killing them from the top of the key. Again, this Miami Heat offense, although it is obviously better when Tyler Herro is healthy, using Bam at the top of the key as an initiator for everyone to set off-ball screens and cut to the rim off of is also a very viable strategy. And that's because there's such a wide variety of things that Bam can do when he catches the ball at the foul line area. Again, that he can run split action and get some cuts to the rim, and he can hit those backdoor cuts with a nice pass. You've probably seen it time and time again, but you can get Duncan Robinson running a little handoff screen action to get an open look from 3. Or if nothing else gets open, Bam can just put the ball on the ground and attack the rim himself. And although it's not always the prettiest thing, again, he has improved every single year in this aspect of his game. But of course, the main thing that will continue to make Bam Adebayo the engine for this Miami Heat team, especially in the regular season, is his consistency on the defensive side of the ball. He has such a good blend of athleticism and defensive IQ that he essentially is able to lock down the paint for most possessions, not only deterring teams from even trying to test them, but when they do test them, they get their shit sent back. He has some really great blocks in the Memphis game, sliding with the offensive player and just getting to the ball at the perfect point for the block without fouling. Plus, he's also just really good at contesting shots, which might seem like a very minor thing, but when you are someone like Bam Adebayo who already has so much defensive pressure that you can apply on the offense, even just getting a hand in the general area of a shooter can mean the entire difference of him making the shot or not. And I want to highlight this one play right here because the Memphis Grizzlies try to run Spain pick and roll between Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, and Bismack Biyombo, and this is usually a pretty butter play for NBA teams to run. But Bam Adebayo is able to sniff it out, even to the point that Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler both get caught out of position on the screen. They're stuck on Desmond Bane, and Marcus Smart has a really good 2-on-1 opportunity with Bismack Biyombo. But Bam does a great job of staying grounded. He doesn't leave enough space that Smart feels comfortable to throw up a floater or any type of mid-range shot, but he's also far back enough that when Smart tries to throw the lob pass to Biyombo, Adebayo is able to get into the passing lane and get the steal. And it's usually these types of plays that can make or break a game for a team. Bam's ability to break up entire offensive schemes just by himself is a huge plus to have for any defense, and again, it's a huge reason why this Miami team continues to stick around and they just never seem to die. It's because their defense is always great and it's always supported by one of the best defenders in the league in Bam Adebayo. And like I mentioned earlier, with a Tyler Herro injury, there's going to be even more pressure on this Miami offense to produce. And in these last couple of games, Bam has stepped up and done that as well. You know, maybe Jimmy Butler will come out of hibernation and start playing some offense in these next couple of weeks without Tyler Herro, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if Bam keeps up this hot scoring streak that he's been on, and I'm really hoping that if he is able to, keep this somewhat consistent throughout the entire season, that he can finally get some recognition with the end of the year voters. As a Celtics fan, I will always have some hate in my heart for Bam Adebayo just because of what he's done to my team, but at the same time, I just feel like he is massively under-respected by a lot of fans in this league, and it's time for that shit to stop. That's all I got for this one. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next one.